All right, I'm live now. So, hello everyone. Welcome to Rebel Talk with JB. This is the first official episode, and I'm joined here by Coach Smith of Reeltown High School. He strength and conditioning coach for the football team. You do track. You do pretty much everything around there, don't you?
Yeah, don't tell anybody that, but yeah, a little bit of everything. Offensive line, tight ends,
Oh yeah.
strength conditioning, and
Well,
track is my thing.
you do a lot as far as athletics, not just football and
Oh yeah,
stuff.
all that. I
Yeah,
support all our athletics.
but yeah, man, we're happy to have him at Reeltown, definitely. Um, so a little bit of background about this. You know, Fife, they have their own YouTube channel. They do something called Fife Focus. That's
I
kind of
got you.
where I got the idea. They talk about Fife athletics, mostly football, but they do talk about get into all the athletics. So I listen to that, and I was thinking like, I wish we had one for Reeltown High School too. And then I decided I'm like, well, why not do it myself then? Uh,
Yeah.
so I mean, here we are. But so how's the how have baseball and track been doing?
Well, just start off with track, so I can tell you probably a little bit more in depth about that. We're coming off a really very good indoor season where we finished second in the state and 1 through 3A indoor track is always coupled up. The 1 through 3A classifications are together, and then the 5A's by them, 5A and 4A's together, and then no, I'm sorry, 4A's by itself, and then 5 through 7A's together. So it's it's a it's a mixture, but it's a challenge in itself. Our roster was limited because we had other fall winter sports going on, but they finished second. So first ever second place finish for our track team in the history of the school. Baseball is rolling. Just the best way to describe it. I mean, and I'll be just give you the common theme is Arthur and Tay and all the successful athletes are a part of both teams. I mean, and so our main guys are 3 and 4 sport athletes. So baseball's been very successful. Of course, you got Marcus Smith, who's a freshman phenom, as everybody's called him. He's the ace of the baseball team. But everybody's been successful. Jake Hornsby hit 2 home runs already this season.
Oh yeah.
They've been rocking and rolling.
Oh yeah, I know Jake is a really good baseball. I know his my dad played with his dad. I believe I think his dad graduated the year before my dad did. So I know his dad was a very successful baseball player, and I know Jake's following in his footsteps too.
Yeah. Oh
And
yeah, Jake's one of our. I mean, to me, Jake's one of the best leaders the school's ever seen. So.
oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah, that leadership. I especially saw that leadership. During the football playoffs and stuff. Especially that Comer game, and then the fight late in the Fife game too. I had no idea how much of a leader he was. He was a very important part of the team, and we're definitely going to miss him. But I mean,
no doubt about it.
we've also got a great quarterback coming up though, in Jamarcus Smith. Uh,
Yeah.
and I'm excited to see what he's going to do on the field. But and then obviously I know I've heard he's been looked at by major league scouts already, which being 14
Yeah.
and being able to throw a 90 something mile per hour fastball, that's it's not common. So
Yeah.
uh,
Yes. He's I mean, everybody talks about him. He's legit. He's great. He's gonna be a good. I mean, I think he knows that. Maturity comes with that pressure. You got to be able to handle it. You got to be mature about it. And he's improved in that area, and that's the area that he needed to improve. And he knows that. And he's taken on the challenge, and he's accepted that. And he's gotten better each and every day. The kid is like night and day from when he got here to now. His maturity level has grown tremendously, and it's just going to keep getting better as he keeps accepting that challenge. And all that kind of stuff. And so, that type deal for him is the big thing. He's got to be able to handle adversity and be mature about it. Even as a 14-year-old, it's a lot to put on one, but you got to handle that stuff the right way.
Oh, no doubt, and it's good because not just in football, but I feel like in all athletics, we're set up to be successful in the future, in pretty much all athletics across the board. Because you've got so many underclassmen and so many even people in JV that are, they're looking very good. They're looking like they're going to make a big impact in the future too. And it's just an exciting time for Reeltown athletics.
I agree with you. We got some good kids, and all our kids are, even the younger ones who we struggle with, they gotta accept the fact that they gotta set the standard still.
Oh yeah, boys basketball it improved from last year a lot. Girls basketball going through a little bit of a rebuilding year, but I think next year it's gonna look really good too. So, just a great time for Reeltown athletics.
I agree. I agree with you. I mean, it's a our girls basketball team's pretty young. They're young, and they improved as the years went along. But I think they got an opportunity to get even better and be better next season.
Can't leave out softball either, because softball is also at least back when I was in school, it was a very successful program. Coach Hillier's still there, right?
No, so Coach Hillier took a job at I'm not gonna say it's home. Her dad coached at Coosa's, Central Coosa for so long, and he passed away sadly, but back a couple years ago, and so she's back up that way, and she's helping them in volleyball and softball. Coach Sprague has taken over the softball program, but
I wish.
Softball program, I'm thinking it's been a while since we hadn't made regionals, and so that getting regionals, going deep in regionals is pretty a thing that we hang our hat on when it comes to softball. And in softball, you gotta have a little bit of things go your way to be successful, and we hope our kids are like that. So that's the kind of thing you gotta fight and crawl. But our softball program has been very successful.
It's all about it's all about the culture. We're building it, like the culture is being built the right way all around Reeltown athletics.
Absolutely.
Volleyball, I didn't get the chance to keep up with volleyball, but I think I heard they had a pretty good season too.
Yep, they had their first winning record, and it was for my niece plays volleyball, so I'm invested in that sport. But season, and it was a very special season for them. They had a great senior leader in Sandra Coleman, and kids like that have been around the program a while, helping the new coach and Coach Merritt, who had to take over for Coach Hillier, kind of help her out all season. And my niece, who's a softball, a pretty good volleyball player, her. They did very well that last season, so I'm proud of them and the accomplishments they had. They looking to get past area now. Area foe and Horseshoe Bend when they kind of being a hiccup to them, so they look to get past those guys next year.
Oh yes, sir. I'm glad to hear that they had their first winning season, and you can build off that. You can build off that easily. Wrestling. I had the privilege of being part of the first ever wrestling team at Reeltown High School, and to see where the wrestling programs come from that first year to now, with Devin Bragg and Drake Wood both finishing as runner-ups in the state, that it warms my heart to see the wrestling program.
To be honest with you, Devin had that guy pinned. I'll tell that to anybody, anytime, anywhere. Devin had that guy down for 30 seconds. So.
Well, I'm not gonna say I've been. I wrestled for the first time back when I was 10. I was still at Tallahassee at the time, but I wrestled for the Mat Cats, and I actually finished second in the state in my weight class. I had the guy from Hewitt Trustful. I had him rolled over, but I couldn't quite pin him. I think I ended up losing by points, but it was a little heartbreaking. But I got a lot better as the year went along, and then I didn't wrestle again until my senior year at Reeltown. Uh, and it was the same case. I got a lot better from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. I don't think Coach McKay's there anymore, but he definitely was a really good coach.
Coach Ledbetter is who's a wrestling coach now. I mean, he's done a great job since he took over.
He's doing it. Yeah.
We've had several kids go to state and finish high in state. But, we got to set that precedent of being a very good successful track program for it to continue to grow. And Devin and Drake and other kids like that. You got Justin Thomas and Blake Haddon, who they're very successful.
Oh yeah,
on the wrestling team. So those kind of kids being young, Devin's only going to be a junior next season. Drake's going to be a ninth grader. So these kids been successful in wrestling young helps the program grow.
All right, we got a couple of future state champions, at least a couple of future state champions in our on this team. So I believe.
No doubt about it.
I believe that. I've heard Devin is on the football team. I've heard he's the strongest guy in the weight room.
He's one of them, yeah.
Yeah, from what my dad told me, he said our entire backfield last year, other than Tay, squatted at least 600 pounds. And that's not even saying, and that Tay wasn't even weak, because I heard he squatted about 450. So,
I couldn't hear you. What'd you say?
So my dad told me our entire backfield last year, other than Tay, squatted at least 600, and Tay squatted 450 or 500 himself.
Oh, yeah, I'm telling you, our backfield, Jake, our kids are strong. Yeah, naturally just giftedly strong. And so we do things 2As aren't used to doing, and Devin's an alpha. B. Brown, who's a tight end, and wide receiver and linebacker, and wherever we put him, Connor.
Oh yeah.
He's power cleaning 300.
Shoo.
Benching 260, 270. Squatting 500, and doing all that. Bowman Brumlow. The numbers alike. We got our kids are just athletically strong and athletically gifted. And, we do what we do, but we do it under that culture and that mantra, being all in because we want to be great. And not just great athletes, but just great in life and great men and godly men at that.
And y'all are teaching them the right way, I believe. I believe every one of these kids are going to go on to do great things in life. And, it's not just about the athletics. It's about getting them ready for life. And, that's something I hope to do one day, is make a difference in some kids' lives as well.
No doubt, man. That's exactly what our goal is. It's the main thing. When you come down to it, what's the main thing? The main thing's the kids. And so we can keep that going, and we don't fall short of that goal and that mission. That we'll continue to be successful. And that's our ultimate goal, is to make sure that they're successful men and husbands, and they're after God, and they all that kind of stuff. And our kids are doing a great job at buying in, and we want them to be successful. That's our number one goal, and they need to be successful in all those facets of life that they need to be successful in. So that's it, man.
Coach,
at the end of the day, it's all about the kids.
Oh yes, sir. Yes, sir. Coach Johnson might have it trademarked, so I might have to dish out a little cash. But as he says, keep the main thing the main thing.
No doubt. No doubt.
All right. Hey, Coach Johnson, send me your cash app. I'll cash app you for it. But yeah. After this, I'm gonna get in. I'm gonna get in and review the 2023 football season a little bit, because I do want to talk about all of athletics, but but most of what I follow is football. So
Right.
you know that's the main thing I'm gonna be talking about on here. So, but you know, whenever you have to head out, just let me know. You know, I don't know how long I'm gonna be live for, but yeah, I'm gonna
You're good,
try.
man, right now.
I'm gonna do it.
You're good right now.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna try to keep these around the hour and a half mark. So you know, I know people might not have time to listen to them. So my brother, there may be some editing done to where I can cut down to like certain highlights and stuff from these streams, so that'll be easier for people to watch. Um, but there's also the full episodes, which you know I'll probably go back and listen to while I'm at work or something, because that's what I do. I like to listen to podcasts and stuff talking about football while at work. So, um, but yeah, you want to get into the 2023 football season?
Yeah, that's fine.
Well,
Okay.
we can start in the spring. You know, I went to the spring game. Um, you know, I got in to the spring game, and yeah, you know, immediately when I saw them out there, I knew this was going to be a special bunch. You know, and I really do enjoy. You know, a lot of people say, you know, like, you know, they like that wide open, spread it out type attacks. I really enjoy watching the old school attack that we have that we've been doing. You know, lining up in the eye, the wishbone. I guess I I was meaning to ask you. So that formation where we line up Devin behind one tackle and Tay behind the other tackle and put Arthur back there. Uh, would you call that a double wing formation or no? Or like
I mean, the way we call it, it's not double wing. It's just, I mean,
like a
and,
offset eye
and
kind
the
of?
offset fullback kind of, people can call it double wing, but we just, it's out of the I formation. It is a wing formation with the fullback, offset or tagged, however you want to put it. But for us, it's not double wing, but it can be considered double wing for a lot of people.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna refer to it as y'all refer to it because y'all know a lot more than I do.
It's easier to call it double wing, but being an offensive guy, I'm gonna tell you what we call it, and I don't. We can refer to it as double wing, but it's not. We don't call it double wing.
Which this year with Jamarcus back there at quarterback, I am. You know, you don't. I'm not asking you to reveal the detail. I'm just speculating that there's a chance the offense might look a little different than it did last year, but that's just me speculating.
I'll tell you this: our offense, and this is a credit to the athleticism of our staff and our kids. Our offense and our system on offense is dictated and run and changed or by the athletes that we have and what they succeed at. You got a lot of teams that they do this one thing and this is the only thing they do. And so if their athletes at a certain period of time can't do it, then they're not very successful. Sometimes they don't adjust, but we adjust to the things that our athletes succeed at doing. As far as Arthur Woods can kick, he can kill you in one play, or he can ground and pound. So that's fit his game, and either styles can fit his game. We just knew Arthur Woods and Tay Martin had to have the ball in their hands, and D Brown as well. So the offense that we picked, our offensive line was downhill. We were very physical up front. We wanted to smash you at every cost, and so that style and that offense fit what we did, and that's the MO of our kids. So that's the offense we ran. But we adjust to what our kids can do successfully, and so the offense is adjusted based on what our kids' skill set is. So I'll tell you that.
Oh
The
yeah.
offense will be adjusted to who we have at quarterback, his success, what we have at running back, their success, and that's what we do. We're not stubborn about that. We stick to that. And our kids love that. We tell them, hey, this is your skill set. this is what we think you succeed at, and they show them that succeed at, so show us they can be successful doing it. That's what we're going to do. We're not going to shy away from making sure our kids are in the best position to win.
Oh, no doubt. You got to do it based on your personnel.
Yeah.
Which I believe that Coach Johnson and I believe the entire staff is one of the best in the state at making those adjustments. Because you look at the 2022 Tallahassee game. We were basically trying to spread it out kind of, and we had that bye week the week we were supposed to play Dayville.
Right.
So, we come out of that bye week and we go against Lafayette. We're lining up in the eye and the wishbone. And, and it really worked because that's what our personnel fit. So, Coach, I believe not only Coach Johnson, but the entire staff is just, A+ at making those adjustments, the necessary adjustments from week to week.
And, I'm never really going to take much credit for what we do. I give it all to the kids, except when we lose, I'll take all that blame. But, what we do and what our kids are great at is watching film and seeing what the opponents is going to do on film and being able to adjust to that as well. Our kids, Tamar, and just to give him as much props as ever, man, that dude is a whiz. He is a football guru. If he doesn't coach one day, the world's going. They're going to need him. But just that he does things and he sees things and on film and on Friday nights that the average football player doesn't see. He's that good, and so
football IQ.
Football IQ is through the roof.
Oh man.
Through the roof.
See that's something I didn't know. I'm getting the inside information here.
And whoever gets him, whatever college he gets to go to, they're going to be fortunate enough to have a kid like him. And that's a lot of our kids, but just to give him a lot of credit, man, his football IQ is about second, and his coach, let's see how smart he is on the football field and what he do, what he knows, and how he adjusts, week to week. And, sometimes on Saturday morning when we get the film, he's already texting me about, hey, where's the film at? I need to know what they're going to do. And the things he does on the field is amazing.
He loves football.
Yes, sir.
Hey, that's awesome. And and not only will he, obviously I think he's got the talent to play on Sundays one day too. Definitely.
Oh, I believe it, no doubt. If he doesn't play on Sundays, somebody doesn't know football.
Absolutely.
That's how I feel.
Absolutely, and I think the opportunities. I think this year the opportunities are going to come, tenfold. And shout out to him. Shout out to his dad, Catavis Martin, as well. He keeps me laughing on Facebook.
Oh yeah, that man.
Yeah, but he's a good guy though. He's a great guy. And I can tell he's a great father, and he does the 7-on-7 stuff, which is really good for a lot of our local kids too. So I think that's a good thing. But we're losing Arthur in the backfield, but I'm sitting here talking about reviewing the 2023 season, and we're gonna end up previewing the 2024 season, I guess. So.
Yeah.
But we're losing Arthur in the backfield. That does not mean we are lacking talent in that backfield. Because I promise you, Traylon Roberts and Elijah Woods, unless Elijah plays receiver. But I'm just speculating. The coaching staff might not even know where everybody's going to play yet because we haven't even got the spring ball yet. But I'm just speculating that Traylon and Elijah, and I'm sure there's some younger guys too that I don't even know about yet. That
right.
But
the backfield will be Arthur Woods is a special talent. He and I'll say this over here. He's the best running back the school's ever seen. He is phenomenal. He broke every record rushing touchdown this school ever had. It's all Arthur Woods. And, he's the best the school's ever seen. I hate we couldn't get he couldn't go out as a state football champion, but he is a champion, of course, in track and field. But man, he is a phenomenal talent, and he's going to go down as one of the greatest ever to play the game here. And I'm lucky even to know him, but to coach him, that was a spectacular opportunity for me, and I'm blessed to even know him. So Arthur Woods, man, to miss him is going to be big. It's going to be a big opportunity for somebody to step up.
Yeah, I mean, I knew Arthur was going to be in for a special season during that Tallahassee game because, I mean, he got 7 carries. He ran for over 200 yards, and 5 of those 7 carries went for touchdowns. So, yeah, I was like, yeah, this guy, I mean, I already knew he was good from 2022, but, I mean, goodness, he went off in 2023. Absolutely went off. But hey, Traylon, late in the year, I enjoyed watching him get carries. He's a bit bigger than Arthur, but he doesn't lack speed either. Like he's pretty fast himself.
Traylon is one of those talents that he's going to be big, he'll be strong, and he is fast. And that's the part of his game that will sneak up on some people.
Oh yeah.
His speed is elite, and so he's just as fast, not just as fast as Arthur, but just a step behind. But hey man, he's elite. He's gonna be elite as well. He's young. He's got some ways to go, but he'll be there as well.
Yeah, one thing I love about Arthur, well, 2 things I love about Arthur. Number 1 is his patience when hitting the hole because he waits for that hole to open up. And number 2 is the fact that even at his size, he looks for contact and he will run somebody over, regardless of how big they are. I've seen him run. I've seen him run some people over that he definitely, like he's not scared of contact either. So wherever he plays, they're getting a very special player.
Oh, no doubt.
And well, the receivers, I think most of our receiving core is back too. I know Tay and Demetrius are back, and I'm sure we'll have some other guys that step up too. The only one graduating is Xavier Thomas, who is a really good player himself.
Yes, sir. Our receiving core will return majority of it. You have Tay who led us in receivers, Demetrius, you got Finn Henderson, Elijah, Hagan, and all those guys, Larry Butler, John Travis Brown, all those guys will step up and they'll be returning for us. So that'll be good for us.
Man, I can't wait. Offensive line returns. Was it 4 starters on the line returning?
Yeah, don't tell nobody that. People, the expectations there are big. Those guys all 4 coming back. And Bowman Brumbo, who I think is the best center in the state, hands down.
Yep.
Ace Foy, he's one of the most athletic offensive linemen we have. Baylor Clayton will lock down the tackle position on one side, and Dylan Bryant, he is as physical, as tough, as one of those football junkies as they come. Man, he's gonna have all 4 of those guys are gonna have an opportunity to play at the next level, and whoever fills that role, that 5th guy, we got to find out who that is. And once we find out who that is, we're gonna be rolling. But that's what spring will consist of. Spring and fall camp consists of finding that 5th guy, and I got a few in mind, but we'll see who takes that 5th spot, and we'll roll. Zach Riley, man, losing him's big for us.
Oh yeah.
Big for our leadership up front, but Zach had a great season at left tackle, and we're looking forward to see who's gonna fill that spot, who's gonna step up.
Oh yeah, and one thing I noticed about guys like Dylan Bryant and Ace Foy, their sophomore years they were about 210 pounds. I look at the roster on the Reeltown website, and both of them shot up to 240 pounds. I mean, you're putting on 30, 40 pounds of muscle in 1 year. That's pretty doggone good. So,
when they both started that Tallahassee football game, they were. I don't know. They may have been right at 200. Ace may have been a little bit smaller, but they were like 5'7", 5'8", and both of them are over 5'10". I'm sorry, 5'11" ish, that 6 foot range, and they're monsters. Both of them had great seasons last year. Dylan Was out the first 4 games with a broken hand. That's how physical we are at practice, and that's how physical he is in general.
Yeah,
he broke his hand, so he was out the first 4 games. But I mean, our offensive line is going to have the expectation to be the best in the state once again. I think we were one of the best in the state last season and one of the best in the state the year before. So that opportunity that we have up front to be successful and our team to be successful is going to hinge on whether we can consistently be the best offensive line in the state all year long.
Oh, absolutely, and yeah, that Towson game, well, Dylan's out, so what do? We take Baylor Clayton, who's probably, in my opinion, who was one of the best tight ends in the state in 2022. He's also a great blocker, so naturally we just put him at tackle and don't lose a step. So
we didn't lose a step. We lost Jacob. Speaking of one more, losing Jacob was pretty big for us as well. But being able to just plug Baylor in right then was pretty big for us.
Oh yeah, and overall we only had eight or nine seniors on the team from last year.
Yeah, about 8 seniors. Yep. 8,
I know
8 or 9.
there was
Exact number.
Arthur Woods, Xavier Thomas, J.J. Kendrick, Jacob Hornsby, Levi Waits, Zach Riley. So that's 6 I can think of right off the top of my head. Blake Smith, which he was a
special teams player for us.
Yeah, I was about to say I always heard him making plays on special teams. Because like I said, I didn't get to make a lot of. I didn't get to make yes sir, Tyrese Fallon. Oh man, great linebacker. Only like 5'10", 165, but he could tackle anything.
He ain't even 5'10". He may be 5'7", 5'8", man, but he is
tackles anything.
He's a dominant football player, second in team in tackles at 117.
And then
I think he was a snub for All-State.
And then of course Jake Hornsby. I cannot forget about our quarterback and linebacker. He was a leader on both sides of the ball. Oh my goodness, he was a great linebacker. Jake, great quarterback too, but I don't know. I don't want to say he was a better at linebacker, but he was a great linebacker. He was great on both sides of the ball. But I mentioned the backfield. I failed to mention Devin Bragg, who, I rewatched the state championship game, about a week ago or so, and I mean, about every play he was laying a block on one of those guys from Fife. I mean, laying a huge block. So, Devin's obviously a big key to our success in the run game as well. As well as it all starts up front. It all starts with blocking.
Right.
And we've got a phenomenal group, and I'm not gonna sit here and give anybody bulletin board material, so I'm not gonna say what came to mind, but I'm just gonna say I think 2A North is just a bit tougher than 2A South this year.
It depends on how you see it, man. But 2A, you can't look at numbers. You gotta look at the team as a whole. 2A North is tough. I mean, it really is. Man,
oh yeah.
Just, you have losing Fife are tough.
Oh, I mean,
2A South, because we've been in there so long, and I've been seeing 2A South football for a while. 2A South is definitely very tough.
Hey, I'm not saying it.
Man, Cottonwood's up and coming.
Cottonwood was young. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Howland Home's still good.
Yeah.
And all those guys.
Clark County. You can't ever count out Clark County because they go. Both the last 2 years, Clark County has been 5-5 in the regular season, 5-0 in region play, and both years they've been in the quarterfinals of the playoffs. So because they play such a tough out of region schedule, because they're playing down there in the Mobile area, so pretty much everybody in the Mobile area is good. So.
Oh yeah.
But
no doubt about it.
I don't know. This has sort of turned into the 2024 preview, so I might just end up previewing 2024 and then review 2023 next Thursday. It's going the opposite of what I had planned, but I mean, I don't know. I don't mind it either way. I just love talking football, so. But I mean, opening up at the Crampton Bowl against T.R. Miller, that T.R. Miller has been an opponent that I've kind of wanted to see Reeltown play for a while now. So when this T.R. Miller schedule came out before ours, and it popped up on my Facebook, and I saw that R at the beginning of the schedule, I got very excited. I got very
A lot
excited.
of people did.
Shoot, T.R. Miller, and I mean that's going to be a. You want to talk about some physicality? That's going to be a physical game.
No doubt about it.
And,
Coach Public does a great job there. Man, they got D1 talent on the field. They're going to be a great team, and it's going to be a great challenge for us. Breaking in, starting quarterback.
oh yeah.
A new tackle, guard, whoever, center, whatever we have on up front on the offensive line. A couple new linebackers. It's going to be a good challenge for us to see where we are.
They've got two excellent running backs. So, and Miles Johnson and Takai Askew, I think is how you pronounce it. But so that's going to be a test, especially for our new linebackers early on. That T.R. Miller's always good. I mean, you always know you're going to be in for a fight when you play them. And then you follow that game up by going to Montgomery to play Trinity. Another very physical team. Coach. I know Coach Seymour. I think I've seen you and Coach Seymour interact on Facebook before, so I know that's
I know Coach Seymour through Coach Johnson.
Coach
Johnson was Coach Seymour's defense coordinator at Andalusia, so that's how that relationship was started. So that's how I know him, and Coach Henderson, our offense coordinator, coached him at MGM. So we're really good friends with him. And that's going to be a challenge. He's one of the best defensive minds in this state. And so that's going to be a great challenge for us as well.
Yeah, I mean, his first year at Trinity, they go, I believe, 11-2. They got knocked out by the eventual 3A state champion. So the Trinity is definitely a very tough opponent. And you want tough opponents on your schedule, because that's the only way you're going to get better is by playing those tough opponents. You're not going to get better by playing weaker teams or even teams smaller than you, because these are both every opponent we play out of region is in a higher classification than us. So and that's how you get better. That's how you get better. We follow that up. We open up region play against Horseshoe Bend, who's a rival of ours. So, which I believe they're coming along as a program too. So.
Yeah, they're going to be a very good. They're going to be a good football team who's getting better every year, I believe, and so that team's going to be pretty big challenge for us. And so, seeing them up close and personal and beginning of the season, we'll be able to test the region out. They're going to be one of the best. I mean, our region's still pretty good and pretty tough. We even losing Highland home, we've earned. The region's still going to be tough, adding Loach Poke and all those guys, but a good challenge to start off playing Horseshoe Bend.
Oh yeah. Then we go to Ranburn. Ranburn is, I'm gonna just say it, hostile territory.
You ain't getting no disagreement from me.
Hostile territory, and that's always a very physical team too.
Yeah, it's a long ride. It's a physical team. It's hostile environment, very loud. They've kind of had. They've had numbers sometimes, and it's going to be a big game to see where we are on the road. Outside of coming from neutral site to, going on the road to Montgomery, which ain't that far, to go into Ranburn, it's going to be pretty tough.
Oh yeah, then we play a Loach Poca team that went undefeated last year and returns a lot of their talent and has a very phenomenal coach in Coach Newton. He's a pretty good defensive mind, because Loach Poca's defense these last few years has been outstanding. And I mean, Lochapoka, that's not an easy place to play either. So, yeah,
It's not.
very very good football team, all loaded with athletes too. Then we play rival Dayville. That's a game that we hope it happens this year.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
it's going to happen. I think both sides have agreed that game is going to happen.
that's good because that's a game that I missed, especially because it's I mean, us being a 2A school, obviously not a lot of our games are able to be found on YouTube and stuff. But Dayville, they have all their games uploaded to YouTube, so that's one that I'm excited. Even if I'm gonna probably go to it, obviously, but even then, I can go back and rewatch it whenever I want. When hopefully we pull out the W against a heated rival. Again, not giving bulletin board material to anybody watching. You know, then we play another home game against Lynette, a Lynette team who I believe is going to be a much improved team. They've got a phenomenal coach, and I believe in Coach Shores. I believe I think that's his name, right?
What did you say?
The coach's name for Lynette is Coach Shores, right?
I can't remember his name right now.
I know I think he was a phenomenal hire though for Lynette when Coach Story stepped down.
Yeah, he was. I can't even remember his name right now. I just know he's a great coach and he's a great offensive mind, and they were challenged for us early last year, so I look forward to it being another challenge again.
They're always a challenge. I mean, And then we play at home against Lafayette, and what I'm assuming is going to be senior night since it's the last home game of the year. Another team I expect to be a lot better this year.
Yeah.
They'll
be better. They'll be a little bit older, so that team will be another challenge for us. Another opportunity for us to get better. The home game. We don't know if it's senior night yet. We'll look at the schedule and figure that out. We're going to have to do some adjusting. I know Coach mentioned that earlier. So
adjustments to the schedule.
Adjustments to senior night and homecoming.
Oh.
Well, we just see what we don't like to do both on the same night, so we'll make some adjustments to that and see what happens. And so we'll do that when time comes. Time's not come, so we'll do that when it's needed.
Well, the only way that the first 8 weeks could get tougher is if we put Central Phoenix City on the schedule. So thankfully we got a much needed bye week after that Lafayette game.
Yeah.
I don't think we want to play. We're not quite at the level where we want to play Central Phoenix City yet. So,
right.
But we come out of that bye week and we play a Central Coosa team, another team that I think that is getting better. I think they have a great coach as well. Another team that I think's getting better.
They'll be much improved, and again, another challenge from that region. Many people will think that region is very good, but I think our region is tough.
Well, I mean, every team in the region was in a very tough region last year. I know most of the teams in the region missed the playoffs, but that's because they were all in very challenging regions, and it's still going to be a challenging. It's going to be physical football week in and week out in this region. It's not going to be easy. And then we close out the season by going to Lee Scott, which is in Opelika. They're a defending AISA champion that's moving up to AHSAA, and that's a very interesting game to play a team that this is their first year in AHSAA. And it's going to be a tough one too because I've heard they're pretty good. That's another game that I believe will probably be on YouTube as well because they have a YouTube channel where they upload their sporting events too. Which I don't know. It's going to be an exciting season for sure.
No doubt. It's going to be a very exciting year. We're looking forward to it.
I know that.
Getting to the spring.
So, like, how did the Lee Scott game come about? Just Coach Johnson and the coach for Lee Scott getting together and agreeing to play the game?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty much how it happened.
I think that's a good opponent to put on the schedule because you play a tough opponent right before the playoffs, and if you get a win, that's a lot of momentum going into the playoffs too. So I mean there's no telling what's going to happen this year, but obviously the goal is to win every game, but the next game is the most important game, and that's the T.R. Miller game. So that's the only game we got to focus on for now.
Right, it's the only one that matters.
Oh yeah.
The only one that matters for us, and even that is really on us. The focus is on us getting better. So.
Oh yeah, you know you don't. I mean, you can watch as much film from last year as you want. I mean, you don't necessarily know what that other team's going to come out in, so you got to focus on your discipline, and you got to focus on you getting better, day in and day out. Because for all we know, T.R. Miller, they got two great backs. For all we know, they could come out running the wing T, or the triple option. I mean, we don't know yet. I know. I remember the not this year's Tallahassee game, but the one before that. I went to the game and Tallahassee comes out running. Whatever they were running, I don't even know what they were running, but they come out with shift into a freaking wing T. I'm like, what in the world? So I mean, like I said, you never know what the other team's gonna come out in that first game. But it's all about us. We got spring coming up, and are we gonna play a spring game this year? Or do another.
It could be determined on how baseball does, but we have several options that we'll pick the best one, best for us, and help us get improved. The most efficient way possible. Rather than that, we'll just figure it out when that time comes. We got some options, but we're looking forward to see what baseball does.
Oh yeah, and hopefully whatever we decide to do, I'll be there. I'll try to be there for it. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely excited for the season. We hopefully by the end of the year we're raising that blue map.
That's the plan. Every game is a Blue Mountain game, so that's our MO and that's our mindset. So every game's the only game that matters.
Oh, I love that. I love every game's a blue map. Remember that. Every game is a blue map game. You might have to trademark that one. Because
I think I took that from somebody.
Oh.
I don't know. I've heard that before, but not blue map. But as far as every game's a championship game, just focus on that game. But I think Richard Sherman said that. So.
Oh yeah. But one good thing about that T.R. Miller game is it's taking place at the Crampton Bowl, so God willing, we do get back to the state championship. We'll already have experience, not only from last year, but that very first game of the year playing on a big stage. So, that's definitely going to help. And, so thank you to the AHSA for making this a kickoff classic game, because that gives us, because, there's a very good chance that both us and T.R. Miller, are possibly playing for a state championship this year. I believe.
Very likely that those things are. So it's a good opportunity for our kids, and it's a good atmosphere for our kids to be in, our fans, and really everybody involved, both sides. Good opportunity for us to bring in a new quarterback. So we're just in that atmosphere. It's going to be a good atmosphere for our kids to be in.
Yes, sir, and I'm definitely very excited for it because, football season, that's like that opening night of football season, that's like Christmas for me. So, um, I think I prefer, the opening night of football over Christmas, to be honest. But is there anything else? Anything else you would like to discuss?
Oh man, that's it. That's all I got for you. I just appreciate any opportunity for our kids in our program and Reeltown High School. And it's opportunity and anything to make sure that we advance the programs and our kids and the opportunities they have in the future. Start in April 3rd at the stadium. So any local churches are invited to that. Any church anywhere in the state, the country can the third Nick Swift in our stadium and hear what God has in the heart of our kids. It's our kids are running it, our kids learned it, so our kids are gonna get it. So.
All right. You was breaking up a little bit, but were you mentioning like the FCA event?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah. He said FCA event on April 3rd at Nick Webster O'Neill Stadium.
Yep.
Any church is invited. Well, I guess anybody's invited, but
Oh yes, anybody.
Well, hey, I appreciate you coming on.
Appreciate it, man.
Hey, it was awesome. Go Rebels. All right. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that was Coach Smith. I hope you guys were able to hear him, but that was Coach Teran Smith. Very thankful for him. He does a lot for Reeltown athletics. I'm just happy to have the opportunity to have him on, and he, hopefully you guys were able to hear him because he went over a lot of good stuff. Went over a lot of good stuff, and I learned a lot today from him. So, and hopefully there's many more in the future. But we went over a lot today. Ended up previewing the 2024 football season instead of reviewing the 2023 football season, which was my original plan. So, I might need to go in and change that description, which let me go do that. Let me edit that. Previewing the 2024 football season. So yeah, I do apologize for that, everyone. I know you were. I was gonna but you know what? I'm anyway. Either way, I'm happy to talk about football. This gives me something to listen to at work. So, but yeah, much appreciation to Coach Smith for coming on, and anyone that would like to come on, just let me know. I'd be happy to have anybody on. That's whether you're a fan or whether you're affiliated with the Reeltown Athletics, I'd be happy to have anybody on. But I just want to thank everyone for watching. I want to thank the Lord for giving me this platform to be able to cover Reeltown Athletics, which is something I'm very passionate about. And with that being said, thank you, everyone.